What's going on, Pisces? This is Brandon over on Wild Intuitive, here to do your weekly energetic read for the dates of July 17th through July 24th. This is just going to be a simple read to help you get through the week. This isn't pass or fail. This isn't you're destroyed if you don't do this. This is just a little bit of advice to maybe help you get through a tough time if you are, or to help keep up the good times if you're not having any adversity in your life right now. But like I said, this is just a little bit of advice to help you get through the week. So let's take what applies to us, leave behind what doesn't, and keep going from there in our higher selves, in our higher path. But I hope you're having a good week so far, Pisces. It's interesting out here in Florida. It's overcast, but the lighting is perfect right now, so I'm not complaining. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a good week so far. So what advice do we have for Team Pisces? Dates July 17th through July 24th. What do we have for my beautiful Pisces out there? July 17th through July 24th. Beautiful Pisces. Any advice from the ancestors and spirit guides for Team Pisces? Wow, they must be giving it to you guys, really getting you the good stuff, because this is a very long shuffle, surprisingly long for Whoa. Okay. Well, we have quite a few cards that popped out, so we're going to take those. It's 3. That's going to be a good start for us. The first card to pop out for you, Pisces, is Faith. Let's make sure we're working on our belief systems this week. It doesn't mean you have to start going to church and reading the Bible. No, it's none of that stuff. Let's make sure that we're finding something to believe in, be it the particle theories of science or the faith-based stuff with Buddhism or with Taoism or with Christianity. Whatever applies to you, whatever you choose to be, you have to believe in something, or you'll fall for anything. What this also means, having faith, is believing in something you have yet to see. Okay, that's what faith is believing something is there that you have yet to see. That's what faith is. So let's make sure we're building on that as much as we can. I know it gets kind of crazy out there with all the dogma and different ways people interpret our resources out there for spirituality, but there is a through line. There is a commonality that they all share, which is connect with your universe, connect with the higher plane, the divine consciousness, so that it can flow through you. So that's what connecting with faith is all about, is opening your crown chakra so that divine consciousness can flow through you. Divine consciousness isn't anything that you can take and put inside of a cup. Divine consciousness is something that fills up your third eye with the information that it needs to tell the rest of your body what's going on around you and within you. Okay, so let's make sure we're connecting with that, or developing it, or getting deeper into what you're already into. That way you can find out as much information as you can about what it is to be spiritual in this new age. Okay, it's not so tied down to you have to be this or you're going to hell kind of stuff. It's not like that at all. It's you're existing in your hell, or you're working towards a heaven that you want to create. Okay, so let's make sure we're connecting with that spirituality in any way we can, in any way that whatever sounds good to you, whatever speaks to you, be that Scientology or something like that, like whatever appeals to you. Okay, let's make sure that we're doing something that connects us with that unseen guidance. Okay, this is going to be great for you guys too, is being brave about it, getting out there and talking to people about what they actually truly believe. If maybe you were raised on being a Protestant or something like that, or whatever, and you have a friend who is a Wiccan or something like that, have a conversation with them and ask them what it truly means to be a Wiccan, or have the will to get out there and talk to people about what they believe in and what they don't believe in and why. Some people will tell you that they don't believe in something, but they don't really have a good reason to not believe in it. It's just them kind of holding on to their own stubborn insecurities about their own faiths. Okay, so let's make sure that we're making those conscious steps towards divine consciousness, and being as the turtle is walking through the desert, he knows that he doesn't care how long it takes. He or she is going to get there because it has the will to do it, the bravery, the fortitude to get through this desert no matter what. And that's what spirituality is. It's a long crawl through a desert, but it can be a fun crawl through the desert if you allow it to be. There is such a thing. Indiana Jones making your way towards the Giza, if you're making your way towards Luxor or something like that to go look at tombs, or heading towards the Great Pyramid, that's a fun crawl through the desert. But if you're looking for water, that's not so fun, I guess. But let's make sure that we're using communication to our advantage. Okay, let's make sure we're getting out there and having these deep conversations, because that's what this Mercury retrograde, that's what these full moons are all about. That's what these eclipses are all about, is getting people to talk more about things that they really only ponder or have pondered in the past and really don't talk about all that often. So let's make sure we're using this exposing of secrets in a positive way, not to destroy people, but to construct around us. And that's going to be positive communication. That's what's going to do that for you. Okay, let's make sure we're having those really weird conversations, if you can, about your own spirituality and how you were raised and why you believe in such things. And you'd be surprised how a little bit of aside from somebody who you may not think shares the same beliefs as you can really change your whole perspective on that side of your life. So let's use communication to our advantage. Make sure that we're using our self-expression beautifully as well, so that we don't cause confusion or allow it to enter our lives. All right, this is going to be big for Pisces this week too. Let's make sure we're keeping track of what it is that we desire. If you desire something that is actually not energetically on your level, it's going to pull you back down to a level that you may have graduated from. So let's make sure that we're using we're allowing ourselves to be pulled towards desires that serve a better purpose for us, that make us feel good and fulfilled within and satisfied, and not just left there like, that was a high price for a cheap thrill. Okay, let's avoid those if we can, and use our desires to nurture us, not just to appease that itch that needs to be scratched. Let's make sure that we're taking care of the rest of it and not just one part. Okay, if you're going towards your higher desires, that's going to make your whole self feel fulfilled. That's going to make your whole self feel inspired to keep walking your path, or keep doing what you're doing, or keep with this relationship, or whatever it is that is influencing you in your life right now. Having good, positive desires is a constructive thing for you this week, Pisces. Okay. Let's mind those desires. Let's not get caught in overindulgence, things that people desire that isn't so high vibrational, like the quest for everything material, or I want to fall in love so bad, blah blah blah. There's a middle ground. You can want to have a wonderful, nurturing relationship, but if you're putting in more energy than is giving back, then there is a deficit there. That's not an even exchange. Somebody's losing and not gaining anything from it. And that's in the red. All right, that's a bad year. Okay, so let's make sure that we're using our desires and desiring things that make us feel wonderful within, that make us feel connected to whatever that divine consciousness is, that whatever you want to call it, source, spirit, divine, God, goddess, whatever. Let's make sure that we're using our desires in a direction that connects us with our higher consciousness. All right. And that's going to influence your communications as well. But let's make sure that we're using our inner child to really enjoy the things around us. I know it's very commonplace for people to get caught up in the things that they may or may not have, or things that they would like to see change around them, instead of really appreciating what they do have around them. Maybe your life isn't perfect, but maybe you have a perfect friendship with somebody who really, people see that when you go out and they want to be like you too. Even though you think your life is not perfect, there could be a situation where you go out and you're really enjoying yourself, and people see you and they want to be like you. It's that kind of thing. When you were a kid, you wanted everyone around you to have a good time. At least if you weren't a little sugar honey iced tea. if you weren't one of those kind of kids, then you really enjoyed everybody else around you having enjoyment in their hearts. So let's make sure that we're using that inner child, extending that inner child out as much as possible. Don't hide it from anybody. Everybody's so got so stuck on adulting over the past couple of decades that we forgot who this inner kid was. We forgot who we were when we were kids. It's hard for some people to even remember how they were when they were kids. It's been so long since they were connected to it. But let's start trying to use our desires to connect with that inner child. Let's get back into dinosaurs. Let's go pick up, let's let a bug crawl on us and just admire the bug and how safe it feels crawling on our skin, which is a weird thing to say. But yeah, find that inner child that was just so full of life, that just bounded in the air and had not a care in the world of why they were jumping or what they were jumping towards. They're just jumping because it feels good. This is going to be big too, all right, Pisces? Let's make sure the home environment is feeding us as well. I know it's a bit hard to keep that balanced, especially if you're at home with somebody who's maybe a little bit lower vibrational than you, who maybe isn't on your energetic level. But the key to limiting that influence is limiting that influence and keeping them at a minimum. There's some people that you meet in life that you know you don't want to be around them for extended periods of time, and keep it that way. But keep your interactions with these people short and sweet. Hey, how you doing? Great. Yeah. And what can usually get on somebody's good side is mentioning something that they like that you maybe don't give two craps about. Like how was the golf game, or something like that. Like just showing interest in something that they do, and then getting out of their hair as quickly as possible. That way you leave on a good note. You leave that energy filled in a positive state when you do things like that. And you keep your little nest here with the star field below you, as above so below. He has lights below and lights in the star field beneath, so this little guy is comfortable. This little gal is comfortable in whatever they're laying in. Okay, so let's make sure our home is nurturing us as much as possible. I know it's just hard, especially with everything going on right now energetically. Like, people are kind of flying off of the cuff, and I know my Pisces out there don't like to be talked to anyway but nice, but you're going to have to allow that filter of they're only like everybody is acting like that because of these energetic events happening all around us, the seen and unseen. There's things that are happening out there that we don't know about, besides the eclipses, besides the retrogrades, that is directly influencing everybody on this planet. So let's make sure that we're acknowledging that, respecting that, and allowing it, to a certain extent. You can check somebody if they're getting a little bit out of hand, but you can also have an allowance that says, you know what, I'm gonna be the bigger, better person and respond with something that is just gonna take us out of this energy or dead it right in its tracks. All right, you guys have stopping power, so use it to your advantage. All right, Pisces. Boom. And this is going to be key to knowing when to check somebody or to let it slide, is using those gut instincts this week. All right, Pisces. Not every problem needs your attention. All right. Even if you feel like you can solve it, not every problem needs your attention. Sometimes you have to let something be in order for it to heal up. Sometimes you can't doctor it up, put a Band-Aid on it. Sometimes you have to leave it alone and just let it heal. So let's make sure that we're doing that. Let's make sure we're following those gut instincts that you Pisces have. You know when something is messed up. You guys aren't stupid. You guys know when something is messed up, and you know when you should leave something alone or walk away from something. Or you know when you should go towards something as well, when you should surround yourself with something as well. So let's make sure that we're doing that as much as possible. And let's make sure we're surrounding ourselves with that divine energy source, because that's what you're ultimately trying to work your way towards. Okay? All right, so let's make sure that we were developing that throat chakra. I know it's a bit hard to communicate in a completely positive way with some of those people out there, but I know you can do it, Pisces. Like, you guys are butter on a biscuit when you want to be. So let's make sure that we're being that sweet Piscean that people love to have around, and not being so rough around the edges or brittle. Okay. But that's all I have for you for now. I hope you guys have a safe, wonderful week. I'll be talking with you more towards the weekend with the energy reading for the weekend. And in the meantime, take care of yourselves and take care of everybody else as much as you can. I love you guys. Namaste. Peace.